So what I'm thinking, since we need to go back into Draconic in order to stay Ruin, is that we find an epic strike from one of the other. And we've got Macro Tech. We've got Magus. So if we were cold, Magus might be the way to go. There's Shirati. Primal we just tried, and Exalted Angel, and then Fate Singer. Probably, I'm thinking what the best to do is likely Exalted Angel. That would give us access to these wings. It'll give us a fire pillar here. And then if we have enough points, we could upgrade the fire pillar to do a stun. Likely we won't have enough points because this particular character only has 65. So I would have to like lose my knockdown immunity, probably. Maybe even take most of the points out of here in order to get it. So, hey, we're being raided by Axel. I appreciate that. Choggy Chog, how you doing? Axel, thanks for the raid. I appreciate it. Hope you guys had a really good stream. Hope everybody is doing well. Yeah, that's great. Thank you. I appreciate you. Hope you had a good night, whatever you were up to. Hope you guys had fun. I'm assuming you did a raid or something, maybe. Or maybe you did some of that new content. We've got 3 new quests. I haven't done them yet, but I think it's really cool. I'm going to try them. So what I'm doing, just to give you guys, so I'm a Ruin sorcerer, Fire Sorc. Usually I play this character like at Halloween. And I've noticed that my Epic Strike, which used to be Energy Burst, is kind of underperforming. So what I'm going to do is try to find a better Epic Strike for myself. So how is the new... Oh, nice. You TR'd your Dragon Lord. That's great. I have yet to do that. I'm going to do that. I plan to do that on my main. Did you guys like the new quests? I think Fred going on a date is hilarious. I think that's such a great idea because I'm a huge fan of Baldur's Gate 3. So I like the idea of continuing the narrative that Mind Flayers and other humanoids can go on dates and romance each other and stuff. And I've said this before, like, it could work out narratively for SSG to say that Fred is actually the Emperor from Baldur's Gate 3. Like, it works. If you did the heroic ending to Baldur's Gate, you could, I mean, it would be a complete retcon, but you could make it work that the Emperor left Faerun and like met some gatekeeper that transported him to Eberron or something like that. Oh, that's nice. Straightforward. Hopefully they have some interesting gear. Hey Smurf, nice to see you. Yeah, okay, cool. Heroic. I don't know what the level swing is on those quests, but you can see on my UI, I actually incorporated that new Tumble tech that they gave us. So now I can see how many charges. I actually think I'm going to use this. Like, I think I'm going to make this set on all of my different characters so I can see the charges. I thought when I first logged in, maybe I'll turn it off, but I kind of like seeing it there. I think it's really cool too now that you can actually get more points by buying into Tumble itself. Like normally I just put 1 point in Tumble, but I think what I'm going to do now, if I have points on a character, instead of using something like sometimes I throw points in Spot if I have extra points, but now with the extra points, I would definitely use Tumble because I like doing the Tumble roll. And I think it's neat now that we have this little indicator. My only complaint is they recharge up so slow, but hopefully they tweak it. Gear is interesting and cool cosmetics. That's great. Yeah. I'm a cosmetic Andy. Like, I really like cosmetics in all the different games that I play. So I'm an advocate for they should have like thousands of different outfits for us. But I also want them to give us DDO housing and all that stuff too. So one of the things I like to do over in Lord of the Rings Online is, you know, like I have my strongholds and then I'll dress up my characters. So we just determined through testing that if you use Ruin, you really need to have this Ruin intensified. Otherwise, the damage is just really like hamstringed. It's not worth it. I mean, for 200 spell points anyway, it's not worth it. And the Epic Strike itself really is not doing a lot of damage. It's underperforming. We all knew that, right? It, like, Dragon Breath got nerfed. I thought maybe Energy Burst would still be worth it, but it's really not. Like, the damage is like a third or a fourth of what it used to be. So really the only solid thing is the Mantle, and then going up and getting this Ruin it. So what I need to do is find another Epic Strike, and I think what I'm going to do is use the Flame Pillar from Exalted Angel. I think that makes the most sense because then I'll get my charge. I don't think on this particular character with 65 Destiny points I'm going to have enough to get up to Holy Command, which really makes the Epic Strike hit and like stun things, knock them down. But I could lose my knockdown immunity and get it. You know, I don't know. Like I said, I only really do this character for the Halloween event, but I still like to be able to quest in like low reapers by myself with it. So I was doing my minion build on this, but then I decided to try Ruin, and so we're leaving Primal Avatar completely. And Ruin is great. Ruin does a ton of DPS, so it's a really nice way to like erase a champ. So we want the Mantle. So I don't care about... I'm not going to be doing any breath weapon. I don't have imbue dice. If I were in Eldritch Knight, I would. And that certainly isn't a bad choice. I just decided to go Fade Arc for the Enlarge. But it's not a bad choice to do that. So we're going to take Evoke. Actually, you know what? Okay, there's the wings. And over here... Okay, I need enchant. And that means over here I'll take Evoke. I mean, I don't know if other spells count as breath weapons. I know on a Warlock, the Warlock Enlightened Spirit Aura used to count as necrotic, a necrotic dragon breath. So you used to be able to proc that paralyze on a Warlock. I'm not sure if that's the case anymore, but I don't think I have anything that would count just in my regular spells. I don't think Ruin counts as a Dragon Breath. So since I'm not using a Dragon Breath attack, I'm not going to buff it. And so we don't need to take that either. We need to take that. Not using Wellspring of Power. Breath Weapon DCs gives me immunity to fear later. That's nice. Not using a Quarterstaff. 3 PRR and MRR, that's not bad, but if that were double, I would like consider taking it, but just to get 3. Likely the best I can do is sort of make it easier for me to cast spells. So probably cheaper maximize. And then I'll go with like a cheaper quicken. Yeah. Alright, so there's our ruin. There's our epic moment. Epic moment is really good, dragon form. We'll take the wings. You know what? Actually, because we're going to be getting these, I won't even bother with that. I'll save the point. We'll take the heal. All right, so 18 points. So I'm 2 points away from getting this. So if I were to recoup 3 points from over here, I could do it. I could get this. So the one downside of this would be I'll lose my knockdown immunity, which I like to have. But having the epic strike upgraded is also really, really cool. So likely since we're testing epic strikes, that's what I'll do. Okay, so we just need to spend a couple more points to get that. And while we're in here, I can also get a heal on my wings, which is very good. And then I can take this, which will basically make me protected from curses. So we lose knockdown immunity, but we get a couple other really good things. I don't think that's bad. I think that's good. Not a lot of stuff is knocking us down, you know. But when we get knocked down, it sucks. So I like to have it. If I were to do a different, I think it's like an air Ellie or water Ellie. One of them gets immunity to knockdown. I have immunity to paralysis. So, like, fire is okay. I probably should switch as a result of that, because the element really doesn't matter. We can force things to take our damage no matter what. So here's a test of the fire pillar. Put that there. All right, so this is our mantle. We love this mantle. It's our epic moment. This is just extra defensives. Okay, that's great. So we'll go back and we'll test some of this out. So being in Draconic also makes the cost of Ruin a lot cheaper. So it's like 25% cheaper than it was not being in Draconic. So, and having the wings is super huge. Like, really, really good. We're going in on Reaper 1. This character only has 20 Reaper points, but it's pretty much a first life tune. I have 1 heroic past life, in case you guys are wondering. And we're just basically testing this sort of stuff just to see like how it functions.
At the end of the passage ahead,
if you're not on.
In the silvery mists of the astral.
All right, so here's that. Here's my ruin. So we hit him pretty good. There's my epic strike. Knocked him down. I like this epic strike a lot. It does decent damage. And it applies our dot, which the draconic damage is really good. We're gonna hit the slot with our epic strike. So he made his save. My save for the pillar is 93, but the dot from Draconic killed him. And you can see what I'm talking about. Like, the Draconic Mantle puts out that attuned to the Arcane. And it just does a ton of damage. So for 5 spell points, I feel like that's really good. But we want to make sure that our Ruin is still hitting really hard. It should be doing about 20,000, 20 to 30,000. Because otherwise, what's the point of having it? I mean, it used to hit really hard. I'm going to hit my moments just because there's a lot of mobs here. Alright, there's a Ruin on that dude. And that hit him really hard, yeah. There's another. I just got knocked down. See why I like having knockdown immunity? I got knocked down again! So this demonstrates why we like to have it. And there I got knocked down again. Alright, hit that dude. And I fell off. See if I can hit him from how far away. Yeah, pretty far. That was a greater Ruin. That's just basically erased him. Because I'm a first life tune, my DC isn't that high, so I'm not actually knocking them down. But yeah, I mean, that is super annoying. Like, I think probably based on that, since my DC isn't even hitting, probably would be better to respec until, like, unless this was my main character, you know? And I had the DCs to do that knockdown, it's probably better if I drop that and go back down to 18 points here and then get my knockdown immunity out of there. Unless I decided to switch and become a different type of sorcerer altogether. But I like the pillar. I think maybe I could do like an ice Sorc and then go into Magus and grab the cold ray. Or we could also go into like Air Ellie, Sonic Ellie, and then get the knockdown immunity from that, and then go into Primal Avatar and take that Snow Catcher. That would also be really strong, probably. So we would lose the wings, but what we would gain by doing that is we would get the Primal Avatar Evergreen, which basically is, it like refreshes our spell points. So it makes it so that we go through a lot less spell points. And we would get the Epic Strike, whatever it's called, Snow Catcher, or whatever the, it's like electric and ice. And then we would also have the benefit of being in Air Ellie stance, which would give us a leap ability through the air. So we would no longer need to worry about these wing chargers. We could actually just jump through the air as an Air Ellie. And I believe that we get knockdown immunity from that. So we'll check it out right now. I haven't respec'd this character a lot, so I don't have to spend like bazillions of plat to do it. So like I said, Fire Ellie, you get immunity to paralysis. Earth Ellie, you get immunity from petrification. Let's see where. Air Ellie, I think this is knockdown. Yeah, immunity to knockdown as an Air Ellie. And then water. Pretty sure water also is paralysis. But I'm not seeing water anywhere. I don't know if my UI is bugged or if it's off screen somewhere. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at water. So water, same as fire, immunity to paralysis. So basically what the builds then would be, because we can still do certain spell casts, it's basically the opposite of the air would be acid, so I wouldn't be able to do any acid spells, but I'm not doing any acid spells anyway, so. If we do air, Mustang 50, how you doing? Hope you're having a good night, man. I actually really like the Air Ellie tree because I really like this Wind Dance. Basically, it's the same as Angelic Charge. We can get it in Heroics. We force everything to take Sonic and Electric in this, which is different than the others in the sense that it's 2. We can force 2 spell damage types as opposed to just 1. So a lot of people do cold or fire. Like I said, I was fire spec'd because of the Halloween event, but we're not going to do the SLAs just because who cares? It's just basically a lightning bolt and we'll probably never throw it anyway. But we will take this stuff that boosts. This is a damage bypass, so we'll take that. And we'll take the crit. We need to take this because we want to take that. And DCs of Evoke, yeah, it's okay. This forces enemies to take more damage. Yeah, that's okay too. So, I mean, that's all fine. All that is okay. We're not really doing, like, things that require, although you can see I do have a couple of spells that might need spell pen, but I'm a first life character on this tune, so my spell pen's going to be god-awful no matter what. So I'm not going to worry about taking that here. I still have an extra 2 points, and likely what I'll do, this will increase my tumble. I wonder if by taking skills like acrobatic, you can increase your actual tumble charges. We're going to try it, even if it doesn't work, just to see if it did. No, it did not, but would be pretty cool if it did. Okay, so now we have knockdown immunity. I don't need to worry about getting it over here. So that means that I'll keep this at 7 points. I no longer need to take this charge. Our damage type is now electric. We don't need to worry about Draconic because this Draconic Mantle will basically change when we change, like, I just have to reset it. It's too bad it wasn't smart to understand, like, the damage type itself, but I actually have to pick it here at the beginning. So blue electric is what I have to take. We're basically going to force stuff to take our electrical damage. That's fine. And we'll do maximize and quicken again because I use those the most. All right, ruin. There's our moment. We don't need this dragon wing because we have, let's see where it is, this wind dance ability now. So, oh, you're going to try the new heroic quests? That's great. Okay, there's that. Nice. Thanks for the gifted sub, Smurf. That's great. Thank you. There's my new Air Ellie stance. So 36 points we wound up with. We're no longer going into Angelic. What we're going to do is we could go Fatesinger because we're doing Sonic. And Fatesinger has a really good Epic Strike. But what I want to try, because we're doing Ruin and Ruin costs 200 at the moment spell points. What I want to do is try Primal Avatar and do this Snowcatcher as our Epic Strike. This also gives us access to Rejuvenation Cocoon. And because we are doing Ruin, Ruin is force damage, we'll go into Thorn. Nice, nice. Thank you, guys. Thanks for the gifted sub. Thanks for the cheers and the bits. So the one issue, though, with this is I do not like Thunder Snow. It doesn't really hit hard enough. So likely what I'll do is Shard Storm, just because with Shard Storm I can get temporary hit points. But we want to definitely get Evergreen. And actually, you know what? It's not going to matter. Because in order for us to qualify for Evergreen... Yeah, we have to think about this. Because if I'm going to qualify for Evergreen, I actually have to be in this Destiny mantle. I would have to be in Sky. Right? So that means that I could no longer do this. So if I'm going to go tier 5 here, there's going to be an awful lot of stuff that's going to be difficult for me to get up there, just because I have to spend 30 points in order to get this top tier, right? Like, what am I going to buy if I'm not using the strike and I'm not using the mantle? I would just get everything on the fringe. I don't know. I have no idea. Like, that's why I wanted to take a look at this on stream, because it's definitely challenging to kind of come up with an idea that works. I really like this Stormcatcher, though. That is a great epic strike. And I really like having Evergreen. So I guess that's what we'd have to see. Can I buy up this tree as a blue dragon? Just get myself all the way up the top without getting any... So we want to bypass damage, yes. I'll take this, that's fine. I don't know exactly which abilities I have that might qualify as a Dragon Breath. I'm not using a specific one, but I'll take that, and I'll take this. I'll definitely take this Evoke. And we can do these. Yep, so we'll do Maximize and Quicken like we have been doing. Oh, there it is. Alright, so I was able to do it. You know, I don't even need to do that, because we can get it like that. Okay, that's fine. That's completely fine. There's Ruin. There's our epic moment. There's our extra. I think we're done. We're done with Draconic, basically, right? And now we do that. We do this. Over here, we're going to do that. Give us Sky. Give me these. There's Evergreen right there. We'd definitely take Shared Mantle, because why not? We have access to it. It's one of the strongest abilities in the whole Destiny system. We need to have Enchantment. Okay, that's great. This is great for when we Shrine. We'll get more, like, stuff. That's awesome. We get more spell points. It allows us to get spell points if we ever go too low, and it also increases some damage. And it looks like we have 1 point left over. And likely probably what the best thing is for us to spend it on. I can get 5 universal spell power. I can get +1 to all my saves. Or I can get this propel you forward. I don't need that. So we're just gonna basically get the universal spell power since we're on a caster. All right, so now need to set all this new stuff up and then we'll go see how it performs. All right, so there's our rejuvenation cocoon. There's our renewal. I did that. There's our epic strike. We've got ruin and we've got ruin intensified. Our spell point cost is 160. All these meta magics are already turned on down here, so I don't need to do it individually. That looks fine. Rain Man, how you doing? Yeah, guys, thank you very much for all the subs. I appreciate you. Gifted subs. Very cool. Like, I appreciate that. Best way to support the channel is just to watch, right? But I really appreciate it. You know, all the subs and the cheers and things like that. So we'll go and we'll test our new setup. We've got Evergreen. We've got a really good Epic Strike now. We're now in Air Ellie. And my spells aren't necessarily optimized for an Air Ellie. But, you know, we'll focus primarily on our strike. I do have this Sonic Blast. So I would need to basically pick up like some lightning and some Sonic. I could also try Fatesinger. Fatesinger's got a really solid epic strike, but I think I really like the idea of being in Sky with Evergreen. Like, I love Primal Avatar.
At the end of the passage ahead, you can see a fortress.
So in order to damage this dude, I need to get right next to him.
The slot's defensive.
All right, there's the strike. There's our
with a living being.
Greater Ruin. You know, it didn't really hit that hard. We'll hit him with it again. Here it is. There's a Ruin. He took no damage from it. So, I mean, I don't know if you got, like, if anybody out there uses a Ruin build, but, I mean, I haven't really played around with my Ruin build since they did the changes, and I'm noticing that it's very underwhelming. Yeah, this is a really good SLA. One of the reasons that this SLA is so good is it has no range on it. Like, I literally can hit that dude from here. And it dotted him. So I just put a dot on him and we can just keep reapplying the dot by attacking him. And I'm so far away, he can barely... Yeah, I mean, it's great. It's one of the best epic strikes in the game. If you can use it. And the damage on it, these things all take like reduced damage. The damage on it's pretty good. Here's a Greater Ruin. You know, like, so to get Greater Ruin, you have to use you have to spend 2 feats on it. And I'm just not seeing the damage that we used to see on Ruin. So, I don't know. Is anybody in chat, like, are you still using Ruin? Do you still love it? Like, is it, you know, still a thing? Or is it better for me to just, like, lesser Shi'ar out of it? Because it's an awful lot to keep this top tier just to keep this Ruin intensified. But without it, it's way worse. Not only does it cost 25% more, but it's doing 50% less damage. So, not sure what the verdict is. Anybody in chat has any ideas, I would love to hear it. I'm just very underwhelmed with Ruin all around. Alright, so we're going to hit that slot right there. We'll hit him with our Epic Strike, and now we'll hit him with a Ruin. Did, you know, almost like 20,000 damage to him, but the strike alone is hitting him for similar damage to that. Considering the strike cost... What does the strike cost me? 2 spell points. And Ruin cost me 160 spell points. So there's my strike. There's a greater Ruin. So, you know, it was like 9,000 and 7,800. So it's almost 20,000. But look at that strike was 7,000. So 2 spell points versus 169 spell points, right? 161 spell points. That hit him for 7,000.
A prismatic barrier blocks entrance into the fortress. Flanked on either side.
Looks like I'm gonna die.
Signal crystal.
Alright, we'll hit that dude. And then we'll hit him with our Ruin. So that was a good one. That was a really good one. But I think that was a crit. Look, that was my Sonic. My Sonic hit him for 6,000. But that was a proc of the mantle. 2,800. I mean, that damage is not bad for a level 1 spell. Followed up by my Epic Strike. And there's a Ruin. That Ruin hit him for 20,000 almost. So, I mean, like, I think it's great to have it. I used to take it to kill Reapers. You know, like, you can delete a Reaper with it. Or a champ. But I'm just not seeing, like, that it's worth the cost anymore. Because the strikes are hitting for way less point cost. They're hitting close to it. Obviously, no Epic Strike is hitting for 20,000, but still, it's... This does the initial hit, and then over the course of 8 seconds, it does damage over time, right? So it, like, eventually comes out to be that much. It's not instantaneous, but still, considered 2 versus 161 points... Now, even with Evergreen, you can see, like, I'm at 68 points right now. We dealt with just about all the mobs out here. I don't think I opened the door yet, but I won't even go in and fight the Mimic. The Mimic will just one-shot me, probably. So, I don't know. I'm sort of not... don't really know what I should do about Ruin or Greater Ruin. I would love to hear back from people. So I'm gonna post like these tests to my YouTube channel, and any comments there, I'll like read them, because I'll probably end up changing this build, I think, just based on this stuff that I've seen so far. I'm not sure I'm going to keep using Ruin at all. Like, it used to hit for double or triple what it's hitting for now. And I understand that this is like first life tune, and I'm not really min-maxed, so maybe there are people out there using certain filigree sets that can just blast this damage way up, but I just don't have, you know, that stuff. This character is basically just like a mess around tune, and then I haven't played a Sorc on my main in a long time.